Whether you're working on the degree or you've just graduated, you're probably wondering what's next.
Well, don't worry. We were wondering exactly the same thing.
From auditions to young artist training programs and beyond, we've been there and we got your back.
This is Between the Notes, real talk for singers chasing the dream. Okay, so welcome to Chapter 5 of the Singer's Handbook, recording equipment for self-taping. And this is an episode I'm really excited about. I've always enjoyed microphones and different, kind of how we can capture this. And we've got a lot of information to share with you, lots of links and visuals for you to see exactly what we're talking about. And this is all equipment that we actually use and we have used. So we can say that it works, and you can decide which price point you want to go into, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, it's a good point that you bring up, because I think that microphones especially is one of those things where you get what you pay for.
Oh, yeah.
And so we can talk today a little bit about the different types of microphones that can be used for audio recording, for self-taping, and then we can go in and show some examples of where those different price points lie. But it's important to just sort of familiarize yourself with the lingo a little bit. So let's talk a little bit about the differences between like a small, medium, and large diaphragm microphone, or as opposed to like a shotgun microphone. So,
which is with the small, medium, and large is a condenser mic. So just a cardioid condenser mic.
Right. And, I think it directly impacts the sensitivity and sound characteristics. So a large diaphragm microphone is going to be generally more sensitive and produce like a warmer, more full sound, often preferred for like vocals and solo instruments. A smaller diaphragm microphones are for more neutral and like detailed sound. So I think what we're trying to find, if you're going to go with those medium or large diaphragm mic for a self-tape, would be you're going to need a cable. You're going to need an audio interface, so you kind of get yourself into a series of things that you need.
And most importantly, that audio interface, not only will it translate into your computer all the signal, but it will give phantom power to these condenser mics, which if you don't have that, it's not going to work.
Right. And then, of course, the other thing is a shotgun mic, right? And again, for any of these things, there's like more options available than you could possibly imagine.
Literally could spend as much as you want on this kind of stuff, but we are not. We're here to give you some options that are not going to break the bank, because as a young singer, we know that we have to keep things on a budget, so we've got a couple of different options for you.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about a shotgun mic. You recently got a shotgun mic, right?
I did. I got a Rhoda shotgun mic that is able to plug into not just a camera, but also you get an adapter and you can plug it into your phone, your iPhone, or your Android for that matter. Yeah. Also the iPad. And it's really important to get the one that we'll show you here in a second that has that converter built in, because if you get one that just has the adapter on it, it's not going to give you the sound that you want.
Right. And let's say this. The most simple setup would just be to use your camera with the mic that's already built into to use your phone.
Right.
Your phone's camera and the mic that's already built in.
And that phone camera is pretty good. The sound quality, depending on placement and also the size of your voice, if you have a kind of bigger instrument, it might be hard to capture it in the way, but it's certainly one way to do it, and it's probably using equipment that you already own, which is great.
But when you are ready to up your game, this is what we're here for. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here is the Rhoda VideoMic Pro Plus camera mount shotgun microphone. This is the one that you just literally purchased not too long ago. Yeah, Brian?
I did, absolutely. Make sure you get the Plus, because if you don't get the Plus, then it's not going to work with your phone and your iPad.
So this is obviously at a $300 price point, and we're using, as you can see, sweetwater.com, which is we are not being paid by them.
No,
but
maybe one day. I don't know. I'd be happy to. But,
that'd be great.
But they have great stuff.
They've got tons of stuff at great prices, and so I mean, you obviously double search it against Amazon or wherever you get your recording equipment. But it's just an easy one-stop shop for us to sort of show these examples. So talk a little bit about this microphone and what you've been able to do with it so far.
So yeah, I've used it in two different ways. I have a video vlog camera. It's a Sony. It's about $600. And this will mount on top where the flash would go. And then you just plug it into the side And that's one way to use it. I think the easier way, or definitely probably the cheaper way, again, because you're using equipment that you already have, is to just get the adapter, which is a 3.5 millimeter, like a headphone jack, into into Lightning or USB-C, depending on the model of the phone, and then you go right into it, and the decoding of the digital signal will be ready to go directly into the phone or the iPad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's show you one other shotgun condenser mic.
Mm-hmm.
So this would, again, require cables and an audio interface and such. But just to show you sort of, here's another step up. This is from Sennheiser. This is the MKE 600 shotgun condenser microphone. Again, if you're really wanting to capture the ambience of the room and be a little further back from the subject, you can use these shotgun mics, point at what it is that you're trying to capture, and you're going to get a nice product.
Yeah.
One of the other options that we talked about were these medium and large condenser diaphragm microphones.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, which one should we start with?
That AKG, I think, is I think the Rhoda and the AKG are right around the same $160 price point.
Okay. So this is the Rhoda NT1 large diaphragm condenser microphone. Again.
And I'm literally using it right here. This is
there you go.
The mic I'm using for this podcast.
So again, going to require cables and an audio interface, and that audio interface plugs into your computer. Then you're going to need some type of software, whether that be GarageBand or something similar on the PC, which we can get into. But just as a reminder, these are those types of microphones that would require those other things. And of course, a mic stand.
Yes.
As you set all of that up, right?
Yeah. And a tripod for the camera as well.
Right. So let's get into another microphone option. Okay. So here is another microphone. This is actually the one that I am currently using, the Mojave Audio MA201 FET large diaphragm condenser microphone. And when you buy these, they come with different things, right? So you can see down here where they have, like, mine came with this nice case. It came with like a type of almost like a suspension thing that when you connect it to the microphone stand, it keeps it from bouncing around or anything. So, just keep in mind the different bundles that are out there, because there are plenty that have a variety of different ingredients that come along with it. Yeah. And, you're going to want to have a case to protect the microphone, whether it comes with it or not.
Yeah, I know that the AKG definitely comes with a case and that kind of suspending, stand. The Rhoda, to my knowledge, does not come with a case, but I mean, again, you can find these things.
Yeah. So let's move forward into the different audio interfaces that can be used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the PreSonus Studio 24C USB-C audio interface. Easily connects right into the USB spot on your computer. And Brian, you have a similar one to this at home, yeah?
I have an older version of this PreSonus, but this looks like the new and improved one. The price point is the same. And it's the phantom power for your condenser mic, and it goes right into the computer, as you said. You can adjust. This one has, two different inputs. So you could say put one on the piano if you have two mics, and one on the singer. That way you can just balance that and make sure that everything that's going on into the computer is exactly with the balance that you want. I've been really happy with this product.
Now, this Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 fourth generation USB auto interface, I know was a product that was being touted by a lot of different people. Again, just another 50 or 60 bucks. In all honesty, I'm not sure. The reason I wanted to include it was because back in the COVID times, when everybody was trying to figure out how to do everything remotely, this Focusrite Scarlett was one of the most commonly referred to audio interfaces that people were talking about. So just wanted to throw that out there. I'm
actually using one right now.
Okay, there you go. There you go. It's a very popular piece of hardware.
Yeah.
All right. And so This is the actual audio interface that I'm using, the RME Babyface Pro. It's got 4 different inputs. Well, they got 2 inputs and 2 outputs. And the cool thing about this one is, and I know it's a much higher price point, but it's obviously it literally fits in the palm of your hand. Well, maybe if you have a big hand, but it's very portable.
Yeah.
Not that these other ones are not, but it also has an ability to have all different types of um, inputs. It's got optical in. It's got 2 different headphones. It's got. I think it can connect directly into your iPhone or your iPad. So just to throw that out there, another very portable audio interface to think about, depending on what your price point may or may not be.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so just to maybe confuse you a little bit more, here is the IK Multimedia iRig Pro Duo 2-channel audio MIDI interface for Mac or Android. And again, this is a very portable device meant to be used with a phone or an iPad.
Right.
Brian, do
And
you
a
know a little bit
condenser
more
mic.
about this?
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's for a condenser mic, right? So the important thing to remember when we're talking about using these condenser mics is that you're going to get a really wonderful warm sound, and they're great at capturing, I think, especially classical voice. But they need to be kind of close. I mean, you hear the difference, and then as the positioning and how close it is to you when you're recording is essential. And so you need to make sure. We probably don't want this mic in the shot. So you have to get a little creative with the tripod and all that other kind of stuff.
Right.
The sound is great, but you just have to keep in mind all these different factors.
Yeah, I think that's a key point. When you're setting up your situation
Yeah.
for self taping, you want to make sure that you don't have anything in the frame except for you and the piano that you're in the crook of, right?
Right.
And you can include the pianist as well, of course.
Sure.
But I think what's really important is that camera is maybe 8 feet from you, and right next to the camera, if you're using a medium or large condenser microphone, it is right there. So don't feel like you have to get 10 or 15 feet back. The exact opposite. The closer you
Yeah.
can get to the subject. Now, as we sing operatically, ideally that sound is going to fill the hall. It's going to hit the microphone in a great way, even when it is about 6 feet, 8 feet away from you. So again, test your mics, test your stuff, make sure that the levels are good, so that as you're doing these recordings, you don't have to go back and try to change so many different things.
Yeah, and as we said before, make sure you have fun with this because that will come through, right? It'll come through in your performance and it'll come through in your personality. And although it's it can be stressful, it really just enjoy it and have fun. It don't be like, okay, I've got to get this. Leave yourself plenty enough time, and then it'll pay off.
Well, like I said in the previous episode, the pressure is off,
Yeah,
right? This is not live. You can always stop, go back, set again, reset, So
sure.
one of the other things that you need to think about is the stand for the microphone. I think I might have mentioned it, but you've got to make sure that you get something to support the microphone that you're using.
Yeah.
And there are tons of different options out there. So just
Super
look through.
affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Same with the tripod. Lots of options. Amazon.
Right.
Super
Tripod
affordable.
for the phone that you're using, or a camera, depending on what you're doing. So
Right.
you're going to have 2 different, you have a tripod for your phone or your camera, a stand for your mic, cables that are going to connect that mic into an audio interface that then is connected via USB into your computer.
Adapters if you need adapters.
If you're going the other route and you're using like the Rota Shotgun, the Plus that we showed you, making sure you've got those adapters that connect it to your phone or your iPad. Then the other thing that's kind of, again, I nerd out about this a little bit, but like the
It's
software
all right.
programs,
Yeah.
right? Because then once you get the recording done, they're either saved onto your camera or uploaded into GarageBand or Logic
From
Pro.
your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you're using a PC, Audacity or Cakewalk. I mean, there are a variety of different software programs that you can use to capture and edit audio and video. So I think it's important that you get good at this, that you start to, if you haven't already, right, make yourself aware of how to use these software programs based on whatever operating system you use, so that you can sort of get in there and do it yourself and make it the best that you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm using iMovie for this, and it's really intuitive and user friendly. There are lots of tutorials on YouTube to kind of help you figure out how to do things. But once you get the kind of basics down, it's very easy to put in a tile that says your name, and then another title with a transition, that fade in or fade out, or however you want to do it, that says this is the piece that I'm singing. And then a fade in to you about 3 seconds before the introduction, and then a nice fade out, and it looks so much more professional and put together than just a straight cut from your phone uploaded to YouTube or to the website.
My 14-year-old daughter is using CapCut to so my point is like, right. I think that the younger singers of today, they're well aware of how to do all this stuff. So
great.
Kudos. The only other thing that we haven't really talked about is like external lighting sources, like a ring light or some type of external light that just helps to balance that lighting that in the venue that might not already be there. Mm-hmm. And again, you can look online and find all different types of, it's not an absolute must, but it's something that I feel like we could just mention.
I mean, I have one here. You've got some, and it helps. It does help to kind of fill in some of the shadows so that you don't get too high of a contrast.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you can, just get a venue that has great lighting, and you'll save yourself a lot of time. And,
the last thing I want to mention is get a good pair of headphones. Not an expensive pair of headphones, but you want to have the opportunity to listen during the recording session, and you don't want to listen to with open back headphones. You want closed back headphones. And the difference is, right, these are a pair of Sony's that are closed backs, and I can show you here. This is a pair of open back headphones where literally the plastic grate is wide open.
Yeah.
Now, these are fantastic for when you're teaching on Zoom or whatever.
And when you're singing, if you're doing a Zoom lesson and you're using the headphones,
precisely.
Closed backs make you feel like you can't hear your voice.
The open backs, you can not only hear your voice, you can hear all the other ambient sound in the room.
And other people can hear you.
Exactly.
So keep that in mind.
Exactly. So I hope that we have at least shared some information that can be helpful for you in making your next recording project as great as it can possibly be. And please subscribe to our channel, and we will see you again next episode.
See you soon.
Thanks for hanging out with us on Between the Notes. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
And join us next week for more behind-the-scenes stories, laughs, and operatic gold coming your way.